Hey everyone, it's Derrick Floyd here, IK Multimedia. Welcome to another edition of IK's Audio Toolbox. This is the program where I interview industry professionals who are out there using IK Multimedia products in their creative endeavors every day, giving us a glimpse of how to use them in real-world experiences so that we can see IK Multimedia products will shine every time. Now today's product focus is going to be IK Multimedia's game-changing amp and effects modeling product, TONEX Pedal, which uses AI machine technology to capture the profile of your amp or head or cabinet and lets you save it to an actual preset in a physical pedal to take with you wherever you go with whatever you're doing. Imagine not having to bring that gear to the gig, you save it in a pedal. How cool is that? And we've seen a lot of people that are on the road right now, especially house of worship or Christian bands, that want to have the silent stage sound where there's no big gear behind them. And the TONEX pedal answers that call. We talked to two different people, or two different guitar players, one with the incredible Christian band Crowder, who's been using the product for quite a long time and breaks down how he does it within his mix and how he sets up everything and uses two TONEX pedals. And then the other person is Tim from TObyMac, who's been using the pedal for quite a long time, showing us how he integrates all of his new sounds from his own rig back onto the new rig when he's out on the road. So let's take a look at these two industry professional guitar players who are using TONEX on a daily basis and how it changed what they do on the road, starting with Crowder and Michael Westbrook. Let's take a look.
Recently, this past summer, when I came into it kind of more regularly, I wanted to move to a different setup, and so and then at the time we were running mono lines, and we were able to go stereo. So I was like, okay, I'm going to rework everything and redo it. So currently, I'm running the TONEX from IK Multimedia. And I'm running everything into that. So whether it's guitar or banjo, pedal steel, mandolin, dobro, even a harmonica mic, a green bullet harmonica mic, all of that stuff is running through my pedal board and then into a pair of the TONEX. And most of the captures that I'm running on there are my personal amps, a number of which I've actually built and are here in my home studio that I use a lot. You know, essentially TONEX, one thing that I love about it is that I can capture or kind of take this sonic picture of an amp, right? So I have a number of amps here at my studio. I've got an early matchless C30, a vintage deluxe reverb from Fender, and then I've built a number of amps, a Tweed Deluxe, a Dumble style amp. And I've documented those in videos if you're into that kind of thing. But it allows me to kind of capture those amps in a digital way, you know, in this digital format with the TONEX pedal, and take that with me, which for me is great. Not only to kind of have my own unique sonic sound, you know, something that I can feel comfortable with. But, you know, I'm running that direct. We with Crowder, you know, we're not using amps, and a lot of people are going that route where they need this kind of silent option,
Stage,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah, silent stage, you know, option.
Now, as you heard from Crowder's Michael Westbrook, the TONEX pedal will become a vital key to how you run your entire live rig with guitars and whatever instruments you have on the stage. Being able to run two of them giving you maximum power. And of course, as he mentioned, instead of having to go back to the back and change a preset on a rig back there, TONEX pedal will give you instant access on the floor so you can change it right there on the fly. So this TONEX pedal is going to be a great game changer for you if you're using it in live or recording. Now what about TobyMac? Tim Rosenau has been using it with them, having presets that are be able to dial it in from the recording at home to bring it to the stage, and much more. Let's take a look at what else Tim had to say about using TONEX on the road with TobyMac.
You know, like I talked about earlier, my amps, they're my babies, you know, my live amps. And so with anyone, and I speak to anyone that's using live amps, I mean, like, don't turn your nose up at TONEX until you've really tried it. Because what TONEX has done for me is it's actually improved my ear for tone, because you can hear it in a very isolated, you know, situation, whether with headphones or through the studio monitors or on stage. And you can really hear what a really bright sounding, present sounding amp should sound like. And so it's actually improving my skills as a tone sculptor altogether.
Wow.
In this specific case, I was able to dial up a plexi sound to mimic my live plexi. And I legitimately am scared that it's better than what I was using. I'm sorry to say it, like that's a very chaotic thing to say, but it's legitimate because a front house engineer came to me smiling and shaking his head, and I know what that means. And our monitor engineer smiled and shook his head, and I know what that means. And it's like everyone's kind of like, oh no, like is this better than what we've been using? You know?
So and you mentioned that you were able to load that sound from Tone Junkie into the pedal. You went to what we call ToneNet, and you talked about that. What was ToneNet? How was that experience for you?
Oh man, you really want to go into it? Because
give me a little bit of what you thought about ToneNet.
Yeah. Okay, so ToneNet. Am I saying that right? ToneNet. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so it is a ocean full of captures. Okay, so the term that TONEX uses is you capture the amp that you want. Okay, and so TONEX has its own captures, but then what you have is worldwide what other people have captured, and you can literally click through the tones and sample them. You can play through them with certain settings. You can listen to other people play through them, and it's just an unending bucket of great tone. And you can weed through them. After a certain time, there's not really a bad tone. There's just different tones because everything is used differently. You might need a really small sounding amp for a certain part on a record, or you might need a massive sounding amp, and they're both great amps. You just need different amps. And what you can do is just click through. And then my goal, if we're talking about it, is to get a capture box from IK Multimedia and capture my own amps, because I have a ton of real live amps that I use in my studio, and I would love to capture all those. And then guess what? I get to take those amps wherever I am on the road if I have a session to play and plug it in to my Apollo, and all of a sudden I'm at home recording with my stuff.
I don't know about you, but I smiled pretty big when I heard Tim Rosenau say that TONEX Pedal was an unlimited bucket of great tone, and saying it made his front of house guy smile when he pulled it out and set it up. That makes you know TONEX is the way to go. Not only that, he said it actually helped him sculpt his tone better. So TONEX Pedal can be an educational thing too. So let's figure out what you're doing with your TONEX Pedal. Put some comments below and let us know how you're using it live or recording. We want to hear from you. And we want to make sure IK Multimedia products like TONEX keep you creative with whatever you do, wherever you're going, and making sure you're making the music that you want to make. We hope this one helped you today. Look forward to seeing you next time at IK Multimedia's Audio Toolbox. Check out the other reviews as well, and we'll hope to see you next time. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy that TONEX pedal. Take care.